Akiva, Tav Kuf Lamed Aleph, B'Mitzvah Hashem will be Mar Makaymis. That's in the Hemshech in Daf Yud Ches. So that will be Sunday, as Hashem. And we'll spend about a week on that. We'll see where we go from there. So as a Tav Kuf Lamed Beis is the Hemshech of Tav Kuf Lamed Aleph. It's the din of Netilas Tzipor Nayim. So is there an Isser? So we find there's an Isser of Tispeiris and Tiglachas, of taking haircuts and shaving HaMoed. By finding Musyom we have a Terim, by finding Musyom Mitzasser. So we have an Isser by Tiglachas. Does that Isser also apply to cutting fingernails on HaMoed? And the Maisa, in the third parak of Moed Katan, so Mameli also get brought a little bit into the Shaila of Avelos. That's the same question the Gemara Betzim brings, Lagabi and Aval. In Aval is in first Gemara in the beginning of the third parak. In Aval we have a pasuk and a smachtel called pachas, and in Aval is usher to take tispeiris, the haircut. Rosh Hamal Tifro, the Gemara Darshowitz from Bnei Aaron, and the male is an ish tispeiris. So the Gemara has Betzim a Claire. Does that ish tispeiris also apply to Netilas Tzipor Nayim, to cutting fingernails? So the Gemara seems to put them both together and brings it both Lagabe Moyed and Lagabe Abel. It's Machlokes Tanoim. Taner Rabbanim Kshem Amru Asr Galech Moyed Kach Asr Litol Tzipor Nayim Moyed. Right. So the Gemara makes the Tushtal that Azoivi we have an Isser Giluach. It sounds like the Isser to take Tzipor Nayim. It's not like a different Isser, not a new Isser. It's a Cheluk of the Isser. Kshem Amru. It's a Cheluk of the Isser of Giluach. So the Gemara it's Machlokes of Yehuda Asers V'Yossi Matters. So the Gemara the same thing by an Aval. Kishem she'amru aval asu galech me'avli, kach asu galech me'avli. The Rabbi Yehuda, the Rabbi Yossi matter. So obviously it's very much mashma from the Gemara that these two machlokes are a shtickle, at least haba hatalia, and that it's not a coincidence that Rabbi Yehuda was mekel by both, Rabbi Yehuda was machmer both, Rabbi Yossi was mekel by both. And it seems to be the shayrish of the shayla the Gemara seems to imply, Pasha reading the Pasha words of the Gemara, is whether netilas tzipor nayim is a tzura of tiglachas. Is that nichlal when Chazal, when we have an asmachta by oval, wherever we find that there's an isser derabanan deraisa asmachta of tispeiris, of cutting hair? What about, does that also include fingernails or toenails? Does it also include the extremities, other extremities that we cut on a common basis in order to keep well groomed? Is that also nichlal? That seems to be the machlokes. Ubishneim, Rabbi Yehuda's shita is yes. Cutting Tzipor Nayim is nichlal in tiglachas. It's like taking a haircut. So anytime you find an isser to take a haircut, it includes also fingernails. So Rabbi Yossi, across the board, there's never one doesn't indicate the other. So just because you in any tchum you find a chazal or wherever we get an isser of a haircut, it does not necessarily include Tzipor Nayim. That seems to be the pashup pshat. As we'll see, l'chayr, it's not the only pshat, and because l'chayr these two things are not hava atalia. But the we're going to come back to this. You say that l'chayr there is one underlying machlokes between Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Yehuda whether or not netilas tzipor nayim is nichlal and tiglachas. Why do I say it's not 100% totally? So first of all, what's that all? So first of all, it's before in the Gemara. Let's just get the facts straight. It's before in the Gemara. It's not hava atalia. Let's see if it would be mamish to say machlokes, there would be no makam l'chalek. And it's mefurish in the Gemara. Machlokes Ula and Shmuel, how we paskin, whether we paskin across the board like Rabbi Yossi, which is the halacha, as we'll see in Shulchan Aruch, both in Hilchos Avelos and in Hilchos Chol HaMoed, we paskin like Rabbi Yossi. It's before in the Beis Yosef, all the Rishonim. It's a little bit of confusion about that, but that's clear from the Beis Yosef. We pass in Rabbi Yossi, by both of them there's no Isser Netilas Tzipor Nayim. That's it. In certain Eifanim we'll see there is, even according to Rabbi Yossi. So, but the Gemara brings Shitas Ula. Shitas Ula is that Yish L'chalik, even though we'll pass in like Rabbi Yehuda L'chumra by Avelos, by Moyed, it could be made like Rabbi Yossi. So that's in fact that there's a Makam L'chalik between the two Nidonim, is obviously a partial indication that they're not Mamish Hav Hatalia. And even if Rabbi Yossi had some kind of svara that was machaber these two machlokes in and made them havatalya, the ma'aseh is makam machalek, and machlokes l'chalek is pasha, like Eli saying, because be'emes b'sharsham it's two different machlokes. What's the isser tiglachas? The isser tiglachas b'chal, the isser to take a haircut, spurs tiglachas by an avel is totally different than b'chol HaMoed. By avelos, it's a question of avelos, of mourning. So there are certain signs and drachim that we portray, that an avel portrays his avelos. That's a whole list of things. The Gemara says at the beginning of third parak that in Avel one of the things the Gemara brings psukim for most kibuz, rechitza, malacha. One of the things is tispeiris. So it's a sign of Avelos. So there's an isser tispeiris b'atzim. So there we can have a machlokes. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi holds it's not nichlal tzipor nayim. Wherever the Torah indicates it's an asmachta not to cut your hair doesn't include tzipor naim, and Yehuda also does include tzipor naim. But it's a machlokes about the etzem din of cutting hair, which is an isser b'etzem by novel. Mash ein came by Chol HaMoed, like we saw by Riches and Tafkuf Lamdal. There's no such isser. Adrab, Be'emes would be a big mitzvah to take a haircut, and sometimes it is. Shave on Chol HaMoed, because it's covered HaMoed, covered a regal. I malacha, there's no problem with malacha on Chol HaMoed, as long as it's tzarech HaMoed. Va'afilu b'maise uman, k'mavur b'ramban, ritva. Now, that it's mutter to take a haircut on Chol HaMoed, it's mutter even to do maise uman, b'tircha, b'farhesya, b'chule, b'chule. What's the isser teglachas that we're talking about Chol HaMoed? That's Tafkuf Lamdal, the gzeiras nivel, like the Gemara brought from the Mishmaris. And since we were choishish, that person can come to a yontiv, not shave it, and save the shaving for Chol HaMoed, and by that force himself to be menovel, not so groomed, well groomed by yontiv rishon. So we made a special isser not to shave in Chol HaMoed. So it's a whole bazunder isser of gzeiras nivel. So the Mela, when the Amoraim come and they see two machlokes in Rabbi Yossi and Yehuda, obviously there's makom l'chalek, and to say like ula takatainis. Then mitzad evil. We want to know if the etzem tzipor naim is nichlal in what the Torah says, or Chazal say that you are supposed to express a certain kind of mourning of avelos. So it's yes included. We'll pass him like Rabbi Yehuda. When we're talking about a chash nivel, so is there a chash nivel? So that's a different idah. Is there a chash nivel by tzipor naim? So says the Ritva, that's what Rabbi Yossi is saying. It's no chash nivel by tzipor naim. Why not? Because he said it's because by carrot Ritva. It's such a grace and evil, long nails. There's no chash. People cut their nails all the time. There's no chash he's going to wait. It's disgusting to wait. No one, to go in unshaven, people will do that. So we have a chash. But to go without cutting your nails, it's even a bigger evil. That's one svar. There's another svar. It doesn't help. Because even if you cut your nails before Yontiv, the derech klal and the growth necessitates another until tzipor naim. Mesh HaMoed, so there was no makam for exam. So you see, the Ritz was pointing out, this is the makam for Ula's chilek, that be'etzem, there are two different nidonim here, and even if we accept that Netilas tzipor naim is bichlal teglachas legabe avelos, it could be legabe, there's makam to say that legabe Chol HaMoed and the Gzeirus Nivel, it's not nichol and the Gzeirus Nivel, because there's no chash for the different svaras that the Ritva points at.
Even in Shmuel you see it's different, because Shmuel says by avelos for mekel, because by avel ha'ilcha for a mekel, you have to say that's why he's making an avelos.
Right, yeah, and the uchar that's keneged ula, right? Because ula has uchar a chiluk, which is taken as chiluk. I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is, and we'll get back to this, is that I still do believe that it's not, so uchar lefiz what we could say, and the emes there is welcome to say, these two machlokes have nothing to do with each other. It's a coincidence. Rabbi Yossi could have just as well been the mekel in one and mak in the other. It came out that way by Mikra. What I'm saying is that the mashmos of the Gemara, obviously if you just read two lines of the Gemara, Kishem sha'asru b'teglachas, kachas b'zunayim. Kishem sha'asru b'teglachas, kachas b'zunayim. The boy, be'eval, but both Rabbi Yossi says mutter. It sounds like there is some kind of underlying yisod. We're just going to get to exactly what that might be. But and echanami, technically there's two machlokes in, and that's why Ula had a makam l'chalik, and the Ma'aser Shmuel is Shmuel paskin that by both of them halacha ki Rabbi Yossi, v'kachi halacha that by both of them we paskin ki Rabbi Yossi that the etzem the til tzipor naim sai ba'avel and sai b'chol HaMoed is mutter gam. That's Meikar. Okay, now yesh lo hosef that another raya kaviyachol, which we don't really need a raya, it's chayr d'or pashut, but another indication that there's two different sugis going on over here is the etzem iser, the nature of the iser teglachas, the rules of the iser teglachas. Because by Chol HaMoed we saw it's not 100% pashut. That's nachrad among the Ram, Mishnah Berurah, the Goyim, that by Evel, by Chol HaMoed, sorry, the iser only includes the head and the beard. And the emes Taisus is not even sure about that. If it's only the head, only the beard, that's Taisus. The Afidal, the iser Gzeirus Nivel, doesn't apply to the head, to the thing, to the beard. And the Lamaisa the Magen Rama is machriya that it doesn't apply to Sham Rekoyim Yisagov. Body here is not nichal on this Gzeir of Gzeirus Nivel. It's mutter. Mashal came by Avelos. That's the beginning of Simon Shin Tzadik in Yeridea. By Avelos, the Isser, it's brought, the Rishonim bring it from Evel and Abasi. The Isser includes entire body. Based on starim, any hair in the guf is all nichlal. The Hein Hein Advarim. Because by Evel, the Yisoid is, it's the Etzem Teglachas. Anything that has Shem Teglachas, so that was Nichlal and the Gzeir in the Isser of Teglachas. Mashen came once as a Shaila from Nivel, so then we have a Chiluk that the Gzeir's Nivel only applied to the Rosh and the Zakin as opposed to Sham Rekoyim Yisagov. So Melo, you see that there's the Yisoidim, there are two different Shailas. Now, so again, Lahalacha we pass and they're both mutter. That's just mitzad the Gemara. There's Machlokes Shmuel and Ula we pass and Rabbi Yossi b'shtein. So where do all the problems come from? We have a lot of problems. You know, if you open Shulchan Aruch, it says the opposite. It says you're not allowed to cut your nails, not in Chol HaMoed drama, and not in the Velos and Simon Shin Tzadik Yeridea. So where does that come from? It comes from that one line in the Gemara. The Gemara says, the Hemshech have to bring in Kama Sipurim, the stories of Nichal Avelim, the Gemara says, Genustera Aser. Even though Tiglach Nitilas Sipernayim is mutter, but Genustera, some kind of a Kli Aser. And Rabu Hasvekus, in this line in the Gemara, and that's where all the Hashlachot Ladina, that all the Halach Lamaisa comes out, and Mamish this line, that there's kind of a Kama Svekus in the Rishonim, what exactly we're talking about. Is this going Shita Serb Yehuda or Shita Serb Yosi? Is this going on Dafka Avelos or even Chol HaMoed? If it's going in Avelos, is it going in during Shiva or even Shloshim? Meaning you may Shloshim, and there's also some Hanagas of Avelos. Which kind of Kli is a Genustra? Does it mean to Aser all Kalim or just a special Kli, like maybe a nail clipper as opposed to the scissors, which maybe is not Miyuchad for Tilas Sipernayim. So there's a lot of Sfekus. And that's Be'etzim where all the Shiloh's Ladina come from this suffix of Genustra. So what comes out Lamaisa? So Lamaisa it's like this. Even though nothing is 100% clear in the Rishonim, Tosfos is very difficult Tosfos to read. There's a lot of Arichos in the Rishonim, in the Rosh, and the Gos HaSheri. What comes out of Lamaisa is like this, that everyone, Lamaisa we paskin, L'kuli Alma, Mechaber Ramah, that the Chumrah of Genustera is Azay. It's in Rabbi Yossi. First of all, we pass in Rabbi Yossi. That's clear. That's the Aleph base. So it comes to Aval. So you want to know, can Aval cut his nails? Rabbi Yossi says it's mutter. Al Zen Nemar Genustera Aser. Kuli Al Mamayde. And we pass in that's during Shiva and side during Shloshim. Kol Shloshim Yom of Avelos, the first 30 days of Avelos. There's an Isser to cut the nails with the Genustera, which let's call any Kli. Because Allah we pass in means any Kli, not just with a special Genustera, even with a sack, and it's Aser. The Genustera is Aser Kol Shloshim Yom. So if you in Shin Tzadik Siv Zayin, the halacha by an aval is you're not allowed to cut kol shloshim yom with a kli, with any type of kli. L'gabe Chol HaMoed, where many Rishonim do not accept that Genustera is going back in Chol HaMoed, and they learn that Genustera, the Isser Kli, according to Rabbi Yossi, is only going by Avelos. So Rabbi Yossi is masking by all of Genustera, but by Moed, the Mechaber's Hachra is, I'll be many Rishonim, that by Chol HaMoed it's mutter and there's no chumrah of Genustera. So you're allowed to cut your nails, and that's what the Mechaber says, Tafel Tlav Beis, you're allowed to cut your nails on Chol HaMoed, Shufi. And you keli, and you know Hagbalas B'chlal, because again, we pass in Rabbi Yossi. Mechaber also passes Rabbi Yossi by Avelos, but there's Hagbala of Genustera Aser. The Shita of the Ramah and Tafel Tlav Beis, at least l'chumrah, the Ramah says the minig is to be machmir, like that goes to Sheri and other Rishonim, who yes apply the chumrah of Genustera, of Kli, also to Chol HaMoed. Meaning halacha there's a machlokes. Is the chumrah of Kli and Rabbi Yossi only by Evel? That's Kli Alma, yes. By Moed, machlokes Mechaber Ramah, Mechaber holds it does not apply, and the Ramah the chumrah holds it does apply. And B'meila, the Ramah says the same thing he says in the same that applies in Nechlas Avelos. You're not allowed to use a Kli to cut nails. Who hadin the Chol HaMoed, you're not allowed to cut your nails, and that's the halacha. And that's halacha ben Mitzvah Ashkenaz. That's the facts. Yes, that's the details. That's the facts. What's the pshat? Why? So let's start with Chol HaMoed. Chol HaMoed, like we said, there's Xerish Nivel. So we said a svarah. Rabbi Yossi holds there's no Xerish Nivel. So if there's no Xerish Nivel, it means because everyone's going to cut their nails, and it's something you have to do every day. So if there's no Xerish Nivel, so what's the problem with Genustera? It's mad as most Rishonim Taka say that Taka doesn't apply to Chol HaMoed, but halacha we do apply. So in all the Rishonim, it's very, very soft.
Maybe it doesn't apply to Chol HaMoed.
It doesn't apply to Chol HaMoed. Every Rishonim holds, yeah, across the board. Mechaber says, use a nail clipper, 100%. The Ramah is machmir like the Miyat Rishonim, and it's only Taka l'chomor. What? Yeah, Mishum Minhag, it's a Chom Mishum Minhag, and that's why we're going to see all kinds of kulas that the Achronim say. But what's the pshat? Meaning there's a tzad in Rishonim that Genustera Aser means, Rabbi Yossi said, I hold it's mutter in Chol HaMoed, but not with a Kli. Why not with a Kli? What's the problem? Isser Malacha, we matter in Ma'aseh Ummah to take a haircut on Chol HaMoed. So why should it be an Isser to be Noit Tzibur Nine, the Kli? So the Lavush says, Xeris Nivel, Mishnah quotes it. And Chayr, it's Tzarechim, what Xeris Nivel. If you have Xeris Nivel, Chayr, what's enough Kamina? Yeah, Kli Nish Kli. Alamai, maybe Klape using a Kli, we're afraid that much we don't want you to wait to do on Chol HaMoed. Tzarechim was it. But L'chayra, it's more.
It's machlokes. We found the machlokes Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi says it is shaykh Xeris Nivel. What do you gotta?
So it's a pella. I'm saying that's L'chayra what he's saying, and L'chayra it's a pella because the Makom L'chalik is very dochler. If Rabbi Yossi is saying there's no Xeris Nivel because everyone cuts their nails.
That's saying
again, if the Kipshuta biyad or b'shar kelim, or let's say biyad even, everyone's going to cut their nails. There's no chash. So there's no chash.
He's basically not going to do it for it. They're only going to push it off. You're allowed to use a Kli. Why not push it off?
Okay, so that's a very shvach svarah. Why would I push it off more because it's a Kli? people are repulsed under.
Biting their nail. Biting their nail, doing it in a funny way.
Erev Yontif, but Erev Yontif.
Yeah, it was.
Most far as the Ritva Richtig. So the Ritva says, comes Erev Yontif, no one says, I'll push it off. You don't push it off. People feel repulsed by their nails. Everyone cuts their nails. That's where it's
I say Kamash blood. It's not. It's not off the shocks.
So this I'm just. So I think the pshat is like this. This brings us back to the Pashup pshat. When you read this Gemara, there's two lines in the Gemara that indicate that Rabbi Yossi did have some kind of underlying yisoid that Tzipor cutting Tzipor is not Nichlon Teglachas. And if you just said cutting Tzipor is Nichlon Teglachas. So the pshat is like this. When Rabbi Yossi said that there's no cutting Tzipor is not Nichlon Teglachas, and he held that side by Abel and side by Moed. So Avada by Moed, we have to know what's with the Xeris Nivel. So obviously Rabbi Yossi held Mitzvara, that there's no Xeris Nivel. Says the Lavush, but Epis there is a Xeris Nivel. Now the emes is, it's Shaykh Nivel by fingernails. That's Mefurish in the Ritva. The Ritva says that's the whole reason it's mutter. He only said it's so much Nivel that there's no Shash you can go into Yontif without cutting your nails because there's so much Nivel. So it is Shaykh a Metzias of Nivel. So it could be like this, that Rabbi Yossi held that cutting nails is not Nichlon into spiders. It's not a tzur of spiders. So whenever we ask for spiders, we don't ask for nails. And by Moed, there's no Chash Nivel. So therefore, once you use a Kli, when you use a Genustera, a Kli B'yochid for cutting nails, then it gets Episia Tzura of Teglachas. It's more Doima to the spiders, to the Glachas, the cutting here. Just like you cut here, you can't cut your hair with your hand. That would be very difficult. So what happens when you use a Kli, a Genustera Aser, it gives it more of a Tzura of Teglachas. Now, obviously we can't say any Tzura of Teglachas is Aser, because like we pointed out, you're allowed to cut all bodily hair. Why are you allowed to cut bodily hair? And with a Kli on Chol HaMoed. There's no Gzeres Nivel. That's Acharad Magen Avram. He's saying that Lahalacha, I'll leave it there Yossi. So there's no Gzeres Nivel on body hair. So you see when it's Mufka Gzeres Nivel, even a Kli is okay. Vaistois, that's what Lavush is saying. So it must be by fingernails, Epis Shaykh Nivel. And maybe like you're saying, like Meir is saying, because the Laisa there is, it's Shaykh to come not looking nice. And maybe people think, if I could use the Kli, I'll push it off the face. So I don't think Imi Shumha, it wouldn't be, it's not an emes Gzeres Nivel. And that's what Rabbi Yossi says, Be'etzem al Bimekel, as long as you don't do a tzura of Teglachas. When you use a Kli and it gets a tzura of Tesparis, Betziruf, that's you're doing a Maisa Teglachas, Maisa Tesparis, because using a Kli to cut things, to cut the extremities of your guf kaviyachol. Just like cutting hair, if you cut your fingernails with a Kli, and it's doimet to Teglachas, so it's enough doimet, so Hagam, that the Iker Yisoid is all Gzeres Nivel, there's enough epis of Gzeres Nivel, like Rabbi Yossi, and when you use a Kli, and it looks mamish like Teglachas, then we ask it. And that's where Rabbi Yossi's svara is chal, gam b'moyed and gam b'evel. There is such a musig also by moyed, that when you use a kli at least, that when you use the kli, it's shaykh to teglachas. It's nichal and tesparis. And Rabbi Yossi's kula, because it's more doibit to teglachas. You take the kli, you're cutting off the extremities that grow out of your guf with the kli. That gives it a dimion to a haircut. Zok Rabbi Yossi, that's not enough for a moyed, because by moyed we need gzeres nivel. That's up there. You know what? Nails have epis gzeres nivel. So it's enough b'tzir of the fact that you use a kli that we could answer it. That would be the chumrah of the Ramah. Now, again, what I'm explaining now is the sheet of the Miyat Rishonim, which the Ramah is only machmer for, and like Yonis is pointing out, correctly so, that it's only mitzad minig. He says the minig is to be machmer, like those sheets. And it's muchach minebe in the Ramah. Because like the Ramah says, if you have a tefillas mitzvah, so the hachra of the Ramah is she can cut her nails regularly. So b'chol ha'mayid, she goes to the mikvah, she cuts her nails with a regular nail clipper, 100%, no problem. That's the hachra of the Ramah. Says the goyim here's the cover. So again, because even the Ramah only meant it as a chumrah. Because be'emes it's a miyad and rishonim. A lot of us it's the Ashkenazi rishonim, it's that goes to Sheri, the smak, the rishonim that the Ramah very often is mach before, and that became minig Ashkenaz kanara al pi shitasam. So the Mela you have to be mach, but it's only a chumrah. So Mela, even though by Evel, as we'll see for tzarech mitzvah, you don't matter. It's iser gomer. So for a woman who's Toy Shloshim has to cut her nails, she has to go get a guy to do it or another person to do it, we'll see. But Chol HaMoed, since it's only a chumrah, you matter al yedei l'tzarech mitzvah. So and what's the shtalshal from this heter of the Ramah, that since it's only a chumrah, maybe we make l'tzarech mitzvah, is kama v'kama kulas b'hachin yana. And that's why usually what comes out is when a person really needs a heter to cut their nails like Chol HaMoed, usually find them a heter. The heter the place can bring are Rabbeinu Tam. If you bemis cut your nails Erev Yontif, so Magen Avram says you can be set Rabbeinu Tam. So if you cut Erev Yontif, you're allowed to cut Chol HaMoed. And there's a shaila in the place I brought here the Makaris, Nachlas Shiva, Shvasyankim, Machlokes, Kavod Shabbos. This Kavod Shabbos is enough for Tzarech Mitzvah. We're matla Tzarech Mitzvah's Tefillah, so why not Kavod Shabbos? It's Machlokes. l'chayra yesh makom l'hakol, because it's only a chumrah. And I brought here that there's a machlokes nachla shiva, and Shos Yaakov says it's not such a big mitzvah. So I found a tshuva from Shlomo Kluger, Tuf Tamidas. So I brought the Mark Kurtz here. So it's Dr. Shlomo Kluger for a carrot, it's a culture king. Because when you cut your nails for tefillah, first of all, tefillah is not a lav mitzvah, which is an interesting taina. In Kamakam Har, we pass in Ksas mitzvah, mitzvah sayna, whatever it is. But my Dr. Be'ikra Adin, there's no tefillah is my mitzvah. So push off the tefillah, you can't cut your nails. Aleph, base, it's only a hechsher mitzvah. It's not the etzim, there's no mitzvah in cutting the nails. You have a problem with chatzitz, it's a hechsher mitzvah. Mashiach Dr. Shabbos is a mitzvah mamish. The etzim chituk of the tzipur is covered Shabbos, just like the Gemara says you have to bathe yourself in chamin Erev Shabbos. So cutting nails is a mitzvah batz musa. So Dr. Shom Klog is the culture king. Right, and he points that out. He says that's only in the Rishonim, it's not even the Gemara. Tzipur not a shuta, they're not a chatzitza maker. It's chiluk of the guf. I mean the katzitz. Okay, and the Aruch HaShulchan is in Moisef Ubi Yaiser on this heter, that even if you didn't cut your fingernails al derech having time, but even more, if you didn't cut your nails Erev Yontif, very often it comes Erev Yontif. If Erev Yontif is Monday, and you cut your nails Erev Shabbos, most people 2 days later, there's nothing to cut. So to the Aruch HaShulchan, as long as your nails were groomed Erev Yontif, and going into Yontif, and then comes Yontif, they grow longer, that's also mutter. That would be an indication, and the Aruch HaShulchan doesn't point it out, Mishbura Benes doesn't bring it, but it's an indication that Yesh Makom Hakol L'Tzarech Shabbos.
You know they both are mashmei?
Yeah, L'Chayr. Okay, so it's machlokes nach shiva. Now, so l'maisa, it's hard to if you don't need it, if your nails aren't too long, there's makom lach.
Once you're saying Tzarech Shabbos, can you say Tzarech Yom Tov?
I'm trying to remember. I think nach shiva discusses Yom Tov. Now, I think they tied it. It's a question of if you're noyeg every Erev Shabbos. But if you're noyeg every Erev Shabbos, the question should cut Erev Shabbos. I think who I did.
Where does it start that business of noyeg every? Who started saying things like that?
That has to be only if you're noyeg every. I think it's Nach Shiva.
Oh yeah.
I think he mentioned it.
And to some story, basic or something that says like, and if you're not noyeg, start now.
So what comes out? So what's left of this Isser exactly of Tzibur Naim? Where would the Chumra Yas apply? I don't know. It's basically a person whose nails are not too long, they're not really bothering him. Then in a Chanabi, Yesh Makom Lachmir. It's only 2-3 days in. And who has it? Some people stop for extra yipui. So that if you have had to repeat the time you cut Erev, you have to attack me with the person. So in a Chanabi, we're pretty much we're finally welcome lahagov mat kol ifan. What during Chol? So if you took a haircut Erev. So most of the manicure is most of the manicure is the chshit enoshim. It's mamish the chshit enoshim. It's stuff involved. It's you like the Chol. Elamai alf the cutting. It's a problem cutting, but if she cut Erev,
for men also.
What?
For men also.
For men also. If you cut your nails Erev,
that's when you have time to do it. You get your nails clean once a week.
Okay. So Me'ikra Adin, what we're saying is that just like Ula found the makom to be machalik that will paskin Rabbi Yossi by Avon and not by Moed, Me'ikra Adin we paskin that even Rabbi Yossi made a chilek. Rabbi Yossi b'kvaydu b'atzma made a chilek because Me'ikra Adin what we're saying is that Rabbi Yossi said Genustera Aser only by Avon. By Moed we're machmer for that shita that Genustera that a kli Aser b'chol Moed. And what we're saying is that's B'tzira of the fact that it's Epis Shayach Nivel and you're doing it with a kli that makes it a tzura of Tiglachas. So Rabbi Yossi there is a time that Rabbi Yossi was machmer. We're only machmer for that shita, and that's why we have kol minei kulas, Tzarech Shabbos, Rabbeinu Tam, the Aruch HaShulchan. Because Me'ikra Adin, what we're saying is that b'moed Rabbi Yossi was not machmer in Genustera, and Rabbi Yossi himself was machalek, but that's only by moed. Aber ba'avelos that were makabel midlina, Rabbi Yossi said yes, there is an ister Genustera. Now. Like we said, because Lamaisa, the Shoresh HaSugya, they're 2 different Isurim. One is Xeris Nivel, and we're having trouble with understanding that Sad even, that Rabbi Yossi would be machmer by a kli. What does it do with Xeris Nivel? So we said what we said. But Mashi'en came, Lagabe Teglachas by Avelos, so then it's mamish very move on. Because there's an Itzer Teglachas Betzin. So all Rabbi Yossi, the machlokas there, Rabbi Yossi is cutting nails, a part of Teglachas. It doesn't have a shame Teglachas. Cutting your the extremities that grow out of your body, cutting that with a kli, is that nichlal teglachas? Rabbi Yehuda holds yes across the board. Rabbi Yossi says no, it doesn't apply to fingernails unless you use a kli. But there we could say kipshuta. That Rabbi Yossi says once you use a kli, that has a shame teglachas, that has a shame to disperse. Once it has a shame to disperse, it's aser. And by availus it's glad because by moed we pointed out harei cyrus agufar muter. So obviously it's not just any shame teglachas, because Cyrus Aguf is a shame teglachas. You're doing a razor or a scissor on your bottle here, and it's mutter b'chol moed. By Avelis, everything's usher. From head to toe, that's the first Evo Rabasi, Shin Tzadik, Sif Aleph. Anything that has a shame teglachas or tispires is usher b'chol moed. I'm sorry, it's usher b'Avelis, not usher b'chol moed, it's usher b'Avelis. So that's what Rabbi Yossi is saying. He's up to Rabbi Yossi, I'm chaylik. When a person cuts their fingernails, it does not have shame teglachas. But if you use a kli, if you use a genustera, that's already dumit to tispires, dumit to teglachas. It gets a shame teglachas. And the nail of that becomes the chol nisr. So ba'ofen the nimtza, that to cut nails with hand or with one's mouth, be'evel, is mutter even from day one. Is mutter kol shloshim. When we pass in Shulchan Aruch, Shin Tzadik, Siv Zayin, that with a kli, that it gives it a shame to spoilers, a shame to glachas, it's also called shloshim. So in the oval is not allowed to cut his nails with a nail clipper all 30 days. And as we're going to get into a little bit now, that becomes a big shayla l'maisa, because bismanenu, many people feel very big mius from having the nails grow more than a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it gets mamish b'shloshim, 30 days, people mamish can't be cycle. So the big question of tsar and isness, is there makom lahakol? So we're going to discuss maybe some of the study kul in this shayla. And the ma'isa medina Shulchan Aruch, it's also the nails have to grow for 30 days, unless you could bite them. There's some people that's even more disgusting to bite than grow. It's a question we're dealing with. So let's just discuss this psak for a second. So Shulchan Aruch says in Simon Shin Tzadik like this, in Yerideh. He says that, like we said, we pass Rabbi Yossi. So be'etzem, this is very important to keep in mind. Be'etzem, cutting fingernails on ba'avelos is mutter, not us or mutter. Narvas. Narvas. The way we generally cut nails is with a kli. So that's what us. That's why the emes, the lashon of the mechaber in Shin Tzadik is very interesting. Kishem she'asur legaleach kol shloshim yom, kach asur litol tzipurnayim b'kli. So because be'etzem we pass it, this kishem is the kishem of the Gemara that we don't pass in that kishem. Kishem she'asur legaleach kach asur litol tzipurnayim. No, Rabbi Yossi matter. We pass in Rabbi Yossi. Narvas l'chayr shteitor this yisoy. The Rabbi Yossi says once you, because Rabbi Yossi's vart is when the tzura of cutting fingernails is not tispires. It's not nichlal getting a haircut. When you use a kli, and then it has much more of a dinyan to cutting hair, so then it's nichlal and tispires. Then we have the kishem. Meaning the vart Rabbi Yossi by Avela says when you use a kli, it's kishem. It has a shem teglachas. It has a shem teglachas. It's usher. Just like it's usher to cut any hair off your body be'evel. Body hair, beis hastarim, chule. Oh, so zok the mechaber.
Is all body hair usher kli?
Yeah, kli. Yeah. You're asking. I don't think there's any need of cutting hair beyond. There's such thing. Pluck it. Says the mechaber. So we have a big shayla now. Because if we're going to be machma kol shloshim, tilas tzipernayim bekli, what's going to happen if she has tilas mitzvah? An isha ba'avelos is only also k'tash b'shamit. She doesn't go to the mikvah during shiva. During shloshim they go to the mikvah. So she has to do a chafif. She has to cut her fingernails. Everything else going on. So slak the mechaber and this big machlok yishanim. The mechaber paskins. The emphasis some yishanim paskin that make a chiluk. We saw in places by us and yiches. Some yishanim paskin that the iser kli is only during shiva, not during shloshim. The question is what Knuster is talking about. Places has a whole shtickle player. I have to explain that shita. Halacha l'mais, we don't pass like this. If we pass in kol shloshim, we're not allowed to use a kli to cut nails. So what happens during tefillas mitzvah? Says Tosfos, she has no heter to cut her nails for tefillah. So what should she do? Get a guy to cut her nails. Zok the Ramah, you don't really need a guy. Zok the Ramah. She just can't do it herself. But it can be done al yidei acher, because you say by Chol HaMoed is that if by Chol HaMoed she has to get a guy. The machmir by Chol HaMoed will hold she has to get a guy. Why? Because for every yid it's Chol HaMoed. You can't cut nails for Chol HaMoed, but if not it's awesome. Now she ain't came by Velos, she's the Aval. So says the Ramah, there's no problem getting another person. It could be a guy, it could be a yid. The yid's not an Avel, so it's no problem cutting the Aval's fingernails to Tzarech Mitzvah. That's Divrei HaMechaber B'Haramah. Oh. So, Frek the Taz, that, how could the Ramah be Mekel al yidei yid? Very nice, the other yid cutting her nails is not, she's not Bavelus, but Hakpada is on the result. The Hakpada is, we have a drasha, and we're being machmer that it's a shame to glachas you cut quickly. So we don't want her to have a teglachas. So just like she can't get a haircut al yidei acher, right? Somebody who's Bavelus cannot get a haircut from another Jew, or from another guy for that matter. So what's the heter of getting a guy? And certainly Frek the Taz, what's the heter of getting yid? It says the Taz of It says that we see that we pass in abuse, right? So you're allowed to cut your nails. None of us. Not with a kli, because once you use a kli, it's more chum. So says it has. It's all about shinui. So a woman can cut her hand with her mouth or with her hand. She cut her nails. That's called a shinui. She can't use a kli because that's the derech. But the derech is to use a kli by yourself. To use a kli ayidei acher, that's also a shinui. So just like she has had to do a shinui of yad or peh, she can also do a shinui of a kli ayidei acher. That's a taz's word. Because if the vart in Rabbi Yossi is like it's mashma in the Gemara, like it's mashma in Shulchan Aruch, the Taz holds that when an acher, when you do it ayidei acher, that's also a shinui. It's a shinui. It's not a normal way to do it because normally people don't cut their nails. They can do the nails on their own. So if you do it ayidei acher, that's good of a shinui. And as we'll see, it's not mamish as good of a shinui, and that's why the Chayr that I'm only matter of Sarach Mitzvah and didn't matter everyone, because anyone's allowed to cut their bite. Any other's allowed to bite their nails, even a man. So why? So any man can also cut his nails. Okay, so it's a lower darg of shinui, but it's Torah's shinui. That's a Taz's word.
What?
Yes.
Why isn't the Taz able to just say that's different?
The Taz is saying Sarach Mitzvah is different, but he's saying the meaning.
Shinui?
Yeah, I mean he's saying she can't cut her finger. Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah both prohibit her from cutting her nails on her own. She cannot cut her nails, even with Tzarech Mitzvah. And Tzarech Mitzvah is what else that Shina. So, because what's mashma in the Gemara and in Shulchan Aruch is what's the side of Rabbi Yossi? That Berega they use, what's Rabbi Yossi's heter? Rabbi Yossi's heter is cutting nails, is not cutting here. It's two different things. And the male's not nichol and the isser to spiders. But when you use a kli, then it is a shame to spiders. So once you use a kli, it has a shame to spiders, and then al zen nemar kishem. It's the kishem of the Gemara. Rabbi Yossi's masking to the kishem when you use a kli. Kishem shasel galayach shasel shmiyim kachas likul tzibernai bekli. So it says if you use a kli for tzibernai, it's a teres tiglachas. It's a shame to spiders. So if that's the case, so what's mali ali dehu mali de acher? It's not biteres shinui. Rabbi Yossi who matters doesn't matter because it's a shinui. Rabbi Yossi matters because he holds it's mutter to cut your nails, not because it's a shinui. So Memelo, the problem is though, once you start doing that to spurs, meaning if you say that using a cleave for your fingernails is like cutting your hair. So just like you can't cut your hair al yedei acher, so then you also can't cut your nails al yedei acher. So that's k'tzas archin, and the emphasis is k'mavur b'shach. The shach is also not makabel this time of the Taz. So b'chol even for the Taz, what we'll have to say is it's epis yashin. It's still nish normal thing. Just saying with Vorenu, it's not the pashtus. The pashtus is that it's the spurs.
Hasn't closed in here nails? Why is one should know that?
That's pashut. Because the normal way to get haircut is like the after. Just the Taz's point is that's a shino. My point is it's not biteres shino. He's saying it's a shino as over yad. Yad is not a shino the fear of Yosef. Yad is Rabbi Yossi's shita is cutting fingernails is not to spiders. And when you use a kli, it's yad to spiders because it's done to the spiders. Once it's done to the spiders, it's called shret mata adeach. So the Shach is also not makabel this Torah, and then it says the Shach is not makabel the whole Ramah. And the Shach says, I see no heter. When you use it, if you're using a yid to cut your nails, for an oval to cut their nails, so it's the same Isser. The same Isser she has al atzma, she has al acher. You don't help anything. So up there, Avada, the Rishonim that say to use a goy, it's bedafka goy. And what's the heter zok the Shach? The good old heter of Amir al-Akum in the Chanami. There's an Isser for you to do something. You get a goy to do it for you. It's Amir al-Akum. It's a shvus b'makom mitzvah. Yesh lo-Hakum. And the Shach learns to pshuta.
The Tosos, a lot of the Rishonim bring from Hamatzniya that using your hand or your mouth is shino.
Yeah, I'm not saying there is no Torah shino of yad or kli, and that's why there probably is some emes what the Taz is saying. Meaning some emes, Taz is coming. But the point is, it is emes. I'm just saying the vart that Rabbi Yossi is coming to say. I understand why the Shach wasn't makabel that word, because hagam that yad and peh is a shino, but the regular
you
use
Rishonim that talk. The shyness of Shinoi, the story of how it's going to be Yossi and it's zero out to the Glachas. I mean, Tosa says it before, she brings from Matzniya, he says that just like you're allowed to do the tag, you're allowed to do beyond. It's because of Shinoi.
Yeah, so again, my point is, what is Shitas Rabbi Yossi? Is Shitas Rabbi Yossi that Teglachas is Taka Aser and it's only Mutter for Shinoi? Kidamash me Pashtas Lashon Kam Rishonim? So my point is, L'chayr now. Because if you look at Shitas Rabbi Yossi, who said it's across the board, Tzai B'chol HaMoed and Tzai B'Avelos, L'chayr he was saying there's no Kishem. He was chaylik on the kishem. He held there's no teres teglachas when you cut nails. Only once you use a kli, then it's taka has a shame teglachas. Okay. So now let's just discuss one other issue over here, and we'll get back to this point of Shitas Rabbi Yossi, and that is that all the poskim here, many achreinim are bothered by what seems to be a big steer in Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch in Sif Hey in Shin Tzadik in Yerdei. Shulchan Aruch says like this: there's a question in the Rishonim about an isha. an Isha after Shiva, does an Isha have an Isser to get a haircut? So it's Machlokes Rishonim. Some Rishonim are Meiko, Kepshutai, because we don't want it to be Tiskan al Baila. So she can get a regular haircut. She does a Rif Harama, that's what Shulchan Aruch Paskin. It's if Isha Mutaris Benetila Seir Acher Zayin. The Ramah is Machmir, like the Ramban and the other Shitas, that she can't get a haircut after Zayin. Those Shitas hold, there's not going to be Tiskan al Baila. Maybe she can cut her body hair. If her body hair is growing, that'll cause an evil of Baila, but a real full-fledged haircut, that you can't get. That's a machlokes in Sefei between the Mechaber and the Mechaber's Mekel and Gansen, she can get a full-fledged haircut. Then in Sif Zayin, Mechaber Paskins, that Azoivi, it's usher all 30 days to get a haircut for everyone. Then it's usher to cut nails. And then he speaks about an Isha who has Tfilas Mitzvah, and he says, if she has Tfilas Mitzvah, she can get an acher, she can't do it herself. Frektal, Necharim, Taz, Beragoyle, Shach, Yehuda. B'charetz Estim, B'nei Ubei. The whole din of Netilas Tzipor, where does it come from? It comes from Shitas Rabbi Yossi, Lahalacha comes from Shitas Rabbi Yossi Holmes. If you use a Kli on your Tzipor, it's a Keshem, it's Azoi Giluach. So it's Azoi Giluach, how can it be more Chomer from Giluach? By Giluach, we matter an Isha after Shiva. Does she get a regular haircut, according to the Mechaber, let's say? If you can get a regular haircut according to the Mechaber, how could the same Mechaber say she can't cut her nails? The whole din of nails is mitla toy v'koi in the Isser Giluach. Tzorachin. So Taz Ben is blazed by Tzorachin on his kasha. It says the Beragoyle, Chay Tzorach Leimar, Wash V'chilah. It depends how much nivel. So by her hair, that's mamish, terrible nivel. So we matter her to get a full-fledged haircut, so you shouldn't be Tizgan al Bayit. Shanking by fingernails, there it's not such a big nivel. And Mebela, it's also Kol Shloshim. That's Elohim Divrei HaBeragoyle. It's not everyone saw this Beragoyle, but whoever did, after learning Sim and Tavkuf Lamed Aleph, and the Rishonim, this is a big power. And that's the Noid Yehuda's Tzarech and Yolo. B'kivei go on the side is ready Mitzayin to look in the Noid Yehuda and say Mitzadik Test, who's Matmi on the Beragoyle. Because Ibcha Mistavr, if I carry it, like we saw in Tavkuf Lamed Aleph, there's nivel by an Isha who has long hair. So after Noid Yehuda, that's the Iker Yipoi of an Isha that she has long hair. There's no Gzeres nivel. If I carry it, the only reason an Isha Kipshuta, like we saw in Nachronim, but why is an Isha an Isser to get a haircut on Chol Bayit? Only Gzeir out to Ish, there's no Gzeres nivel. Mashenkein Zok the Noid Yehuda, Tzipor Nayim. The whole Yisoid of the Ritva by Moed is that it's the biggest nivel to have long nails. That's why this is no Chash nivel by Moed. And he fastar, the Yehuda brings the fastar. He says it's the first Bekra. Avad is much bigger nivel. Zok there Divrei HaBeragoyle B'Telu. Zok the Yehuda. Makes no sense to say that there's a Isser, the nivel of nails is less than hair for an Isha. Can't be. And the Enes the Noid Yehuda, like the Taz, doesn't really have an answer to this question. That's implied Tzarechid. The Noid Yehuda there is talking about a different Shiloh, which we're not going to get into right now. Very interesting Shiloh about an Isha who's being Masayim her Shiva, going into Yontif, and needs to do cut her fingernails, Tzarech Tvila, Ayin Sham, very fascinating tshuva. But Al Kopanim, Zakti Az Beragoyle is not the teretz, and the Noid Yehuda, Choyer has no teretz over there. So, one teretz we could have said, and this sometimes is like the Balabatish teretz you have to answer for the Mechaber sometimes, is that it's called Stadim. In Sifhei, the Mechaber Paskin was bringing the Shita that's mutter to get here. Sif Zayin is Einachanami, not Aliba to that Shita. Sif Zayin would be, it's a Keshem. He's saying Keshem, whatever Isser Giluach you have. So if you have an Isser Giluach, whoever has that Isser Giluach Kol Lamed, they will have Isser Tzipor. And the Mechaber would himself hold, but the DD that I hold haircuts are Taka Mutter for women, we're Taka Mi Mutter. Tzarchi and Gadol, because Lamaisa is two Sifim later, and Mechaber Lahed in Sif Zayin is also about Misha. Well, Maisa, that L'chayr could have been a Kivan. But the emes is Gamzet Tzarchim, because if that's the case, then Tiglachas, that the Mechaber matters, so we don't find any Tzarech for a Shina. The Mechaber himself says that by Tzipor Nayim, she can do it on Shina, either with her hand or like the Enacher. Mashenki by Tispires, we never find any tzarech for a shinoi. And there is a musig of shinoi by Tispires, by Takua Avelis. The Gemara speaks about a shinoi, even for a haircut. So, the Maisa, even if we're going with the Shita in Sifhei, that's Machmir, right, by Tispires, in Sifhei, it's really the Ramah, which makes it even a bigger problem. But the Maisa, the question blives, because by Tispires, after Lachar Lamed, even according to the Mekilim, why don't we at least find that, according to the Mechaber, why don't we at least find you should do a shinoi? I mean, let's go back. It's like this. The Shach has a different text. The Shach answers this question. Yeah. So the Shach, The Taz's kasha is not a kasha, Baragol is kasha, not a kasha. Notice the answer to Sif Hey and Sif Zayin is that that's we want to be Mekel. So let's see in Sif Hey. Let's come to be Mekel. What's the kula? Get a haircut. So what are we going to do? She needs a haircut. Fine, so let her have a haircut. So we're Mekel. Mashenkin in Sif Zayin, we want to let her cut her nails, but you can do a shino. Why do I have to let her do a kli? Let's do b'shino. Mashenkin, there's the Nekudas Kesef on the task. So after the Nekudas Kesef, Mashenkin by Tispers, there's no shino. What shino are you going to do? So maybe we matter to get a haircut. Mashenkin be tzipor 9. So there we know there's two malachim. There's using your hand, using a kli. So efshar b'shino, so do b'shino. And the mele is that's the teretz for the mechaber. Now, that's also tzarachim because l'mais and Sif Hey is a din of disperse. We find in the Gemara there is a musig of shina by Cyrus. L'hakol b'sayra, l'hakol b'tar. The Gemara when it speaks about taku avelos, so the Gemara says, but taku avelos, someone has two avelos and one after the other. So we have a kula, but not to have a regular disperse, only l'hakol b'tar. So we could have been mechayiv a shina over there as well, and we're not mechayiv any shina. So tzarachim. And even according to the Ramah in Sif Hey, the Ramah in Sif Hey holds what? That you can't get a haircut. Well, the Maisa the Ramah's passing back to Rishonim that she can't get a haircut, but her body hair she could cut. So Shloit is Gan Al-Bailam. So even according to the Ramah, it's K'tzas Sarachin. So why is it Isser to cut her nails? It's also Shloit Gan Al-Bailam. The fingernails is the biggest evil. So Kol Shkein according to the Mechaber, he lets you get a regular haircut. Even according to the Ramah, you can't get a regular haircut, but you can do things to take care of evil. So the should be allowed to cut her nails. Kedarka. So Zok Teshach, it's Efshar B'Shinui. So what I'm just saying is tzarachin, because the teretz of Efshar B'Shina, we have to go back and look at Teglachas and Tispayers also haircut. So why do we take Shina over there? If there's a chash to Tizgan al-Bayah, we let her get her haircut, so get her haircut a little bit B'Shina, cut off a little bit here. She doesn't have to get a full-fledged haircut. So with tzarachin, and it's amazing that Machmas came, the Noid Yehuda and the Taz, the Noid Yehuda kind of he's K'mat Doicha Divrei Mechaber Me'alacha. He says that tzarachin, Divrei Mechaber, doesn't have a pshat, it's Mechaber, and he thinks that with Sif Hey, if you paskin in Sif Hey, we're cool like the Mechaber, they get a haircut, she can certainly cut her nails. And when I'm being moist, even according to the Ramah, that she can't get a haircut in Sif Hey. But the Ramah matters her to cut her body hair for Nivel, so L'char should also matter to cut her nails, she let this Gan Al-Bayah. So L'char Razoi. We already, like we pointed out.
Levels of shina are the same.
What's that?
Those two levels of shina are the same.
Oh. So it's if the shach is right, so Efshar B'Shina should do a shina. So it's Efshar B'Shina. I don't know about the levels of shina. It's Efshar B'Shina, so do a shina. You can take care of the chash shlik is gam al-bayla. I do shina. But the side is in Sif Hey. What's the heter that the Mechaber is passing like? He's passing like the shitas that an ish is allowed to do tispayers. There's an issue tispayers. The din of the Gemara that we have a pasuk. Roshim al tifro. So there's an issue tispayers. Some Rishonim hold that doesn't apply to an isha achar sheva. Why? Because there's a chash l'bayla. So we matter to do tispayers. So we're being over on the issue tispayers. Ein malasot. B'chiyai gavna. It's a din derabanan. You have tispayers bubbles. It's a din derabanan. So b'chiyai gavna that she has a heter. We're not mechayiv to do a shina. She has a heter. So it's got l'bayla. Chazal weren't goyzer on us to take a haircut. So she let her take a haircut, regular haircut. So there's no makom for a shina. The Rambam takamachmer about that shayla. The Shitas say that she can't get a haircut. But once we matter something, the able and side be'able side be'moyed on the din derabanan, be'tisparis be'able. So we're not mechayiv any shina. There's no need to be mechayiv a shina. How could the Mechaber say in Sif Zayin? So l'chayr it's heinei advar. What do we say in Rabbi Yossi? We pass in Rabbi Yossi. What's Rabbi Yossi's shita? Cutting fingernails is mutter gomer because it's not tispayers. So when we come to a question of tispayers, you know what Rabbi Yossi says? An isha has to go to the mikvah, she has to cut her nails. So says Rabbi Yossi, but don't do tispayers. Just cut your nails. According to Rabbi Yossi, which is how we pass in, when she cuts her nails biyad or bepeh, it's not tispayers. It's mutter gomer. She's not being over on Roshim al Tifro. When a woman has to get a haircut, so we say manaseh, Roshim al Tifro. We can't be geyser on an ish. It's gan l'bayla. So she's over on Roshim al Tifro. She's allowed to be. We weren't geyser on her. We don't take the asmach the Roshim. She's allowed to do teglachas. Mashenki by tzipor 9, Rabbi Yossi said, I let a woman cut her nails because there's no need to do otherwise. So Mashenki, if she'll go and use a kli, you know what's going to happen if she use a kli? She's going to be doing tispayers. Because according to Rabbi Yossi, once you use a kli, it gets a shame teglachas. It gets a shame tispayers. So Dr. Rabbi Yossi, so that the Mechaber is good and the shach is right because it gets by tispayers. we have no choice. We have to let her take a haircut, so we let her take a haircut. Mashiach came by Tzipornayim, the Mechaber's Machmer, because Lafishit Rabbi Yossi can avoid the whole Isser. Why are we not Matzur Chashinu in Sefei? Because anyway, you're big away from Isser. Once we allow her to do the spires, you do the spires. It's not an Isser Chomer Deraisa. You have to make a Shinu to knock it down. It's Isser Derabanan anyway. So Chazal Hitiru. Mashiach and Rabbi Yossi is saying by Tzipornayim, I never had a reason to be matter anything. Rabbi Yossi holds it's not to glachas. It was never nichol what Chazal talking about. So it's mutter gomer. So why be machnes yourself into an Isser Shalom Tzarech? And Memela by Until Tzipornayim, Rabbi Yossi, we have the kula of Rabbi Yossi comes out of Chumrah. The kula that taking it b'yad b'peh is not teglachas b'chlal, so there's no reason to matter. So how do you do it? You do it b'yad b'peh, and if it's necessary for tefillah, so do some kind of a shino, it's Dr. Shacham Mir la'akum, ubezeh nichla divrei hashacham. How it could be Tzipornayim are more chamer than teglachas, because since it's more kal, since in the hagdara of taking nails, it's only a teglachas with a kli. So then the chumrah is, the Rishonim are saying you have to avoid using the kli, you have to avoid getting into the sugi of displays. Okay. So b'chol oifin, there's an isser here in Shulchan Aruch that says you're not allowed to cut your nails, and Aval is not allowed to cut their nails, be-kli. So we already, just to begin with, we already have an idea and a task. We're basically saying that this mechaber is tzarachin. And we'll see how we pass it in Sefei, or at least the mechaber passing in Sefei. So it should be mutter. So we have a teretz for the mechaber. Yishmak a teretz l'choyer. But Umaisa, we really have gedolei achronim or mefakrik on the psak of Shulchan Aruch l'shit haser. That betzim should be mutter. So klapi ma'at v'arma mutter. Is that
Nisha.
What's that?
Nisha.
Yeah, for Nisha, exactly. Meaning whatever we're matter in Sefei for Nisha, they hold it to stira, and the male should mutter in Sefzai for Nisha. So, like we said, very often, and this is a problem that not only women have, men also have, is that to grow nails for 30 days becomes a big tsar and a big mios for people to have nails. Is there any makom? So, the Tuf Tamadas, the Shlomo Kluger in this tshuva that I quoted over here, so he's clearing the shadow. He's clearing an isha who cuts her nails twice a week, he said, Keseder, and Mela she comes with a time that she's an istanis, that she has to cut her nails, she can't be soivel shloishim. So Shlomo Kluger says, he thinks that an istanis is as good as takfu avelis. Takfu avelis is someone who gets two avelis in one after another. And there we have a kula that they can cut their hair. So Shlomo Kluger, if you cut your hair for takfu avelis, he thinks istanis is no different. And istanis is like takfu avelis. And for Kol Shkein for Tzipornayim, because Tzipornayim is always more kal, like the Shlomo Kluger, and Melov, he thinks that's one seer. Okay, so up there maybe that's not enough. And this is where he says his Torah. He says, well, look what we matter in Shulchan Aruch. What's our Tfilas mitzvah? And this is where he says his whole Torah. Tfilas mitzvah, it's Tfilas bisman alav mitzvah, and cutting Tzipornayim is only a hechsher mitzvah, so we matter that. Kol Shkein l'tzarech Shabbos. So that's his eitz over there. He says, an isha who's suffering during Shloishim, because she feels it to be an istanis, so first of all you have a kul of istanis. And chutz from that, there, if she does al yedei acher, Shulchan Aruch says then Ramah. If you do al yedei acher, so it's tzarachin, it has the kasha, what's the hezber, but l'maisa Shulchan Aruch matters al yedei acher l'tzarech mitzvah. So Dr. Shlomo Kluger do al yedei acher l'tzarech Shabbos, because tzarech Shabbos is also tzarech mitzvah. If you could matter l'tzarech tefillah, kol shekein Dr. Shlomo Kluger matter l'tzarech Shabbos al yedei acher, so that's his eitzah. That would be a good eitzah. So that's yesh makom lodun. Someone, this would be true also for a man, because Tzarech Shabbos is not Tzarech Tefillah, and a man could have the heter of to do Al Yidei Acher, the Erev Shabbos. So L'fim Shlomo Kluger, to do Al Yidei Acher with Tzarech Shabbos is a mechaber, and you're doing what it says in Shulchan Aruch. It's mutter to cut nails b'chiyah gavna for an avol Torah shloshim, and that's mitzir of the fact that the etzem psak of Shulchan Aruch is already achrenim or fakvik on that psak, and the Noid Yehuda in his tshuva is mitzaref the chevel of Rishonim. Which brought him Yosef over here in Shinsadik. That's the Ritzkeis, the Imei. Many Rishonim hold that the whole Isser with a Kli is only during Shiva, not during Shloshim. So the Noid Yehuda says you can start that sheet also. So we have a tzad that is an Istanis as a Kula, and we have a tzad that even if it's not Klar, she's an Istanis, person Istanis, bothering them, or how much it's bothering them. Well, we have many Rishonim who hold that it's Tam Motor after Shiva Yamim. Well, Halach and Shulchan Aruch were Machmer, but the Psak Shulchan Aruch is a difficult psak, like the Noid Yehuda already points out. So the Chor Lefizel, the Bimakom Tibisay, B'cham Shlomo Kluger, who says you can make a dimyon, like we said in Achal Shiva did B'chol HaMoed, that just like Tzarech Tefillah is a mitzvah, Tzarech Shabbos is also a mitzvah. And to do al yedei acher is epis hashinu. It's not mamash hashinu like doing biyad, but it's epis hashinu. So B'chiyah Gavna, B'chayr, B'makom Tzaref Gadol, person's mamash suffering, there would be such a heter. So obviously it's a Maila to do B'peh or B'yad. Just B'yad, most people can't do B'yad, I'm not sure. B'peh some people could do. They also have an Eitzah, I think you bring that Nachal Shibla, Shvus Yankiv, and those Achrenim, they discuss another Eitzah to start with the Kli. That even if you hold the Kli is Aser, if you just start with the Kli, and then you're Mamshach and you fear it ice with B'yad, that would also be a
Start meaning just cut, don't actually cut a piece off, just
right.
cut a piece
Right.
off.
Start the Chituch. That's I think what they're talking about. That be heter. And then we were discussing the other potential aids of not, I don't know how negate is, of filing the nails. Filing down nails with a sandpaper. It depends how long they got, how not long they got.
Sandpaper?
Not sand, they have these filing sticks.
Filer?
Yeah, filer. A
What's
nail
the difference
filer.
between a filer and
Nail clipper cuts. Chituch. This is like sanding. It's a
what
ula.
is sanding doing?
Grinds it down, basically. Like comes off the dust. So the
it's
question is
difference
that nichal
between
is-
cutting and dusting?
Oh.
Isn't
So
it
we
just
pass
smaller?
in that not just the Genusters also any Kli, even Sakin, right?
These
Question
things
is,
are miyuchad. Isn't the nail filer miyuchad for
yes, so
filing
mitzad,
nails?
so it has a chomer. It's what?
It's not meant to cut down your nail.
Right.
You do
That's
it.
What's the difference between cutting and
It's
filing?
miyuchid, filing, a filer is miyuchid for yipui. It means to smoothen it out, to shave it off a little bit. You don't shorten your nails with a filer. It's not meant for shortening. Shorten you cut. Then the jaggedy edges you file.
It just takes a longer time, but
Yeah.
it's doing the same
But it's not
process.
miyuchid for that process.
It's not the same process.
It's not the same process, whatever, it's the same result.
Why would Chazal only ask her cutting a lot and not a little bit?
No, I have no problem.
Right.
I think that us cutting a little bit
So
also.
using the Kli a little.
So
Even
isn't filing a little
no,
bit?
you started. Isn't that also that? If they ask it
When I file a
The
little
point
bit,
there is,
the guys did with this year.
as long as it's
You don't tell them he's no good yet. You cut the piece off yet.
okay, maybe it's a question how good of a job we'll do. My point is that it's not a Kli that's miyuchid for Tilas Timonayim. Again,
I still
I'm saying like this.
it's cutting a little bit. So to say, so why would Chazal, if Shane is cutting a little bit, then why would Chazal not ask her?
I think they would. It has to be a Kli. The Isser Kli, what I'm saying is, again, there's a lot of sheets about Kli. Some hold it's only Genustra, some hold it's even Sakin. This is not a Sakin, not a Genustra. Now, it is a Kli that's miyuchid for manicuring, for smoothing out. What I'm saying is, since
Smoothing is done by cutting a little bit at a time.
that I think is a different story. That's not cutting at all. That's mom shaving off a little mashu to get a bump
So
off.
that we don't care.
I would think that's not the spiders. That's not cutting.
That's not called cutting.
I a little powder's coming off.
Yes, you see it coming up.
That's not my cup of. I would be happy for all. If I get a stage, I would be happy for all stages. It's normal. It's smoothing it out. So what I'm saying is like this: a woman who's stuck by and she takes it to shorten her nails. She's doing a very lovely thing. It's going to take a long time. It's going to hurt probably. It's not kishmak. It's not what it's intended for. And it's l'chayr shiva. To shorten your nails with the thing, hagam that it's a kli, I would presume, has the heter of biyad or bepeh, because it's l'maisa. Now again, what's the side of the zaf? Rabbi Yossi's heter by yad and peh is not a heter of shiva. What I'm saying is, his heter is a dosis tiglachas. Until you use a kli that's derech tispeiris, so maybe since Rabbi Yossi's chomer is it has to get into the sugi of tispeiris, maybe it has to be a pool of chito to cut it. But if you're just grinding down your nail, maybe that's more dumya, the yad or the peh. And it's not mitaras shino, but it's just mitaras dosis tishkin tiglachas. It's a different way of getting your nails short. It would be another cheshbon to make over here that if she needs to file a little bit, that might be something.